Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. How are we? I was talking and my microphone was muted because, that's how I roll and stuff. Hello, Mrs. Metcal, Nomad, Linda. Hope everybody's doing well. The temperature's dropping here again, so we're running around in shorts and short sleeves. Hey, Justin Thompson. How are you? Let me drop this. Oops. Howdy. Ooh, my hair. Hey, Sherry. Give people a moment or two to venture in. All righty. I'm doing well, Justin. Hello, child. Are you done being bored? well, well, at least you can't cancel people with a dog hitting your keypad. So we are back on complex PTSD. You gonna let Dad bore you to sleep? That's a pretty good theory. I'm everybody's what do you call it? Sleep aid. All right, we're gonna hit chapter 2 of complex PTSD. Top put his Kaiser video back up. If everybody wants to watch it, we may pull it up and have a look, see what was going on with what he's put up. It I don't know who all has anybody seen it? My sergeant retired. Just no Todd cooking videos. From what I saw on Discord, I don't want to see it. That was some pretty gross looking stew. Uh, there is a Hill Pirate live. It's scheduled, so uh, Jeff's feeling better, thankfully, and I didn't have a 20-hour work day today, so I'm too old to drive 6 hours work, then drive 6 hours home. Well, I mean, you got a house full of kids. You pass that shit around. All right. Chapter 2, the damaging effects of dysregulation. There are intensely felt emotions off. Yeah, we've missed the interaction for sure. All of us have. Often anger and terror that overtake the patient, rendering him or her powerless to control these feelings. These emotional outbursts, which can last anywhere from a few seconds to many hours, can be alarming for both the victim and anybody else who is present. Typically, they are triggered by insignificant stimuli, which most people would react only marginally, if at all. In addition to that, these emotions are frequently incomprehensible to the one who is experiencing them. This inability to regulate emotions is known as affect dysregulation and is one of the most significant characteristics of complex PTSD. So, the origin of emotional dysregulation. Complex PTSD and bipolar disorder have a complicated association that has yet to be fully established. Affect dysregulation has long been acknowledged as a defining feature of bipolar disorder. Some suggest that complex PTSD is a substitute diagnosis for bipolar, while others believe they are two distinct conditions. What is critical to recognize, however, is that affect dysregulation plays a critical role in the way we construct and interpret complex PTSD. Affect dysregulation has grown so widespread and systematic that it is no longer a symptom or side effect to be reckoned with. Rather, it is a defining characteristic of the disorder. In order to comprehend what it means, we must first examine the process by which CPTSD develops. When someone, particularly a child, is subjected to continuous abuse, neglect, or mistreatment at the hands of a caregiver, they may develop complex PTSD. A unique learning process occurs when the victim has little control over the abuser's actions and must rely on the caretaker to meet their basic human needs, such as emotional nourishment, food, shelter, and other necessities. The victim's brain generates shortcuts to ensure survival in the absence of settings that allow normal human personality development. One of the ways in which this presents itself is through the phenomena. Da, 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 da. You're welcome, everyone. That is now stuck in your brain as well as mine. Of dissociation. Specifically, this occurs when the victim responds to the sensation of powerlessness by dissociating from the incident, resulting in the development of a coping strategy that lasts throughout adulthood. Other coping techniques include pleasure seeking or dangerous forms of conduct that serve to divert the victim's attention away from excruciating feelings. In order to understand the fundamental cause of these issues, it is necessary to understand that persons who have experienced complex trauma do not go through the same process of learning to manage with emotions that those who have grown up in a stable, healthy surroundings do. Hey, Clean, how are you doing, bud? Good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you guys over at the network are doing well. The consequences of affect dysregulation. A tremendous tool for human survival and development. Emotions are encoded into our brain from the moment we are born. Fear prevents us from engaging in unhealthy behaviors. Enjoyment motivates us to take action, and even wrath, when directed at an injustice, may be productive if used appropriately. However, hardwired emotions do not instantly fall into healthy and productive patterns. These things can only be learned through a long process of imitation and exploration. That includes the building of attachment ties as well as development of self-awareness. If you've ever seen a child throwing an unrestrained temper tantrum, you're familiar with untrained emotions in action. What we call affect dysregulation in adults is the same sensation of powerful, undirected emotion as described above. The outbursts, much like those of children, are often entirely unreasonable to observers and cannot be explained by the sufferer, though the reasons for them frequently become clear during therapy. When a properly functioning adult is confronted with a powerful emotion, they are equipped with a variety of strategies to deal with it. Their mental machinery allows them to comprehend what they are experiencing, which in and of itself offers them a sense of anchoring and stability in their feelings. Yeah, we were just discussing our holiday episode, and we'll be announcing it at some point once we decide. The investigating a scam is very interesting to me. That I'll have to pay attention and make sure I see what you guys come up with that. Let's see. People who suffer from affect dysregulation, on the other hand, do not often experience strong emotions such as fear, anger, or the like, but instead experience an overpowering and excruciating sense of raw pain that they cannot bear. Oh, I just saw that. Mrs. Metcalf, affect dysregulation. I got a special shirt for said episode. Or I could dress as Hormaxer. I don't think y'all would enjoy that. Most people have some understanding of why they are feeling the way they are and what is causing them to feel that way, which allows them to direct their emotions toward a goal and develop a response to that objective. The other ladies might. No, I'm good on that. I'm not wearing a hammock. On the other hand, victims of complex trauma frequently do not understand why they are feeling this way and are unable to link their sentiments to a specific reason that they can work to resolve. In the end, emotional awareness enables people to confront their own feelings consciously, manage them, and choose whether or not to act in accordance with those emotions. For those whose emotional development process has been stunted and warped by complicated trauma, affect dysregulation is a continual burden, and life is transformed into an extensive coping mechanism in order to compensate for the damage done to their emotional learning process. So I think in a lot of ways, people that suffer from complex PTSD um, are either total introverts to the point of never going out, or the act of going out and doing things and constantly dealing with how to act in a social setting wears them out so greatly that they will go home and have to just completely rest, need a day just to stay in bed, recharge, get those batteries back to going. Like when I'm teaching in the classroom, I'm totally wiped at the end of the day. And if I have to do it for weeks on end, I'm a very grumpy person. Yeah, clean. It is very common. So it is difficult to emphasize the challenges that people who suffer from affect dysregulation encounter in everyday life. Irrational emotions might make it difficult to build and sustain relationships, advance in one's job, or even engage in ordinary social interaction. In the aftermath of such outbursts, the victim is frequently left feeling ashamed, guilty, and plagued with self loathing, among other things. In addition, affect dysregulation can be a significant impediment to achieving success in therapeutic interventions. Do most of my work from home, but I try to go outside, but usually find myself never walking out the door for a few days. But yeah, I'm the same way. It's work allows me to mostly teach from home, but I do try to get out, at least walk around the block, and try to force myself to talk to a few people in the neighborhood, which is the most exhausting thing ever. To effectively treat complex PTSD, patients must revisit difficult and sometimes suppressed memories from the period of abuse, which frequently results in emotional outbursts in the individual undergoing therapy. Many of these feelings are simply too hard to take, leading to significant dropout rates, particularly in the early processes of the program. Thus, teaching skills for emotional grounding is not only a necessary aspect of assisting the victim in functioning more effectively in his or her life, but it is also a necessary step in attaining profound and lasting change. I've quit so many therapy programs. Um, it's not even funny. Finding the right course of action is just about as hard as dealing with things day to day. I don't know if others have dealt with that before, but it's I really enjoy my care team. So, brain dysregulation and childhood PTSD. When we talk about the long term consequences of childhood PTSD, we're usually talking about things like depression, addiction, and interpersonal difficulties. But there are other consequences as well. We know that there is an underlying symptom of post traumatic stress disorder that plays a role in the external indications of the disorder, and that symptoms is brain dysregulation. Unfortunately, brain dysregulation creates problems in almost every aspect of one's life. The result is that we become overactive, insensitive, and make poor decisions for our own health. When we're calm, our brain activity is level, and this evenness drives our bodily and emotional responses in an orderly and predictable way. Dysregulation, on the other hand, can lead to unstable and behavior and thinking. What's up, Cap? Um, I won't mention much more, but I am extremely happy for you, brother. Um, I know it's a hard fought process. Let's see. When we're in a panic, we may put on a pleasant face and smile. We may descend into a deep depression, or our emotions may explode and pump us with adrenaline at the drop of a hat. We could also feel numb, clumsy, forgetful, or disoriented. It can be difficult to discern the truth in these moods. It's possible for us to drive off without detaching the nozzle from the gas pump or say nasty things to a loved one, even if we think we mean them in the moment. When we need it, when we need it most, sound judgment might fail us. As a result, we may find ourselves making the same mistakes over and over again. Nonetheless, there are few instances in which this foggy, spaced out state can be actually feel like an effective strategy, therefore, making it more difficult to recover from complex trauma. What possible reason could there be for not trying to halt the progression of this deteriorating condition? I'm not a brain scientist, and what follows is merely my own personal observation of the subject matter. Now, before we get into this part, I'm going to say, after I take a drink, my thoughts are with complex PTSD is we've learned these coping mechanisms since an early age. So these feelings are normal, and fixing them causes a great amount of fear because the normalcy we feel with these feelings is we have the fear of changing something that has lasted, oh, I don't know, say greater than 50 years. So we'll see what the book says, but from my experience and time in psychology courses, that's how I feel about it. When faced with a stressful situation, dysregulation might prove a brief relief. It is a very costly vacation from all of the worry, but it is a good way to unwind and get away from everything. When things are dreadful and intense, such as when you're in a terrible quarrel with your partner, dysregulation can help you transition from feeling like you're on fire inside to feeling spaced out and emotionally numb. You are not intentionally inducing the rush of emotions when you are triggered. However, you may have to make a split-second decision about whether or not to stick it out and try to de-escalate the scenario. You may even consider if you want to escalate it to the point where it activates your PTSD switch and gives you a subtle break from the circumstances. Hey, old guy Mitch. It is possible that dissociation is another term for dysregulation, as some people find that it can act as a reboot for an overworked nervous system. We may have acquired this reactive instinct as children when we needed to detach ourselves from trauma that was occurring right in front of us. When we were young, all we cared about was protecting our impressionable and vulnerable selves. A child who has experienced violence and neglect learns to tune it out and allows the skill to grow into adulthood. The truth is, many adults find that checking out can be a useful skill in the moment. Many do it in the dentist chair, during boring meetings, watching scary movies, or even in nightmares where one is being chased by a lion. Yes, even in a dream, a person can check out and prevent themselves from having a negative experience. However, while it is good for coping with nightmare predators, it is significantly more effective for coping with the challenges of adulthood. A failure to acknowledge and accept this snug, comfortable side of dysregulation can result in increased trauma and self-sabotage. It is similar to drugging yourself and is not a sustainable option in the long run for recovery. In response to the initial signals of dysregulation, we can perform a variety of small actions and to either pull back or control the situation. Grounding techniques will be discussed in more detail in Chapter 8, but here are a few. Sit in a chair in a quiet room. Feel the weight of your body against the chair. Mitch could recommend some Primo weed, I'm sure, to help you feel the weight of your body against the chair and help you sink into it. Just say. Wash your hands and feel the water's temperature and soap on your skin. Eat a light snack, preferably something with protein. Take a deep breath and count to 10 through your exhales. Refrain from having conversations with anyone until you are centered. I find that this last one pisses people off to no end when you need to maintain your quiet while you're getting rid of the trigger effect. Yeah, Mitch, no doubt. that, I would sink into the chair for a little bit with either of those. Lava cake blend would work really well too. But people want to get their emotions out to you, and you're just like, I need my time, right? I just need the quiet. I need the cool. I'm very big on turning the air on, getting into a quiet space and clearing my head to get back centered. So, I mean, those are just a few of my coping techniques. I disagree with the not drugging yourself. I think that weed is a very good obey the goal. Tom Donovan. Hey buddy. There's no TVs here. But I'm glad to have you here. So the good news is that you can control your own brain. It takes experience. But if you pay attention, you'll be able to recognize the warning signs and take the necessary action when needed. I agree, Mitch. But if you eat a plate of cookies, you might feel like you are because you're only supposed to eat a quarter of the cookie at a time. So that was chapter 2. Does everybody want to watch Top's video? It's pretty short. It's only like 40 minutes. I've heard a lot of people say that, Mitch. They hit me harder than smoke. All right. Let me pull this down and get a big view of my curls in action. Yeah, Top's the best. All right. Let's see what Top has to say. I'm gonna let it play unless there's comments or I want to make comments, but it's hard to beat Top's wisdom.
At the bar. Yeah. Oh, she was hot. She was like, "Hey, you just want to awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, too easy." Hey, CIB. Hey, where'd you earn that CIB at?
The PX? What? It's not stolen valor. I bought it with my. Oh!
Hey guys, yeah, I know it's not Thursday, it's actually Sunday, but I love my intro. It's a great intro. So what's Mikey Kaiser going to do? That's the big question. The wheels of justice turn very slowly, but they turn. And yeah, February 5th, 2025. Show cause hearing. This should be interesting. It's not what he's saying it is, a status hearing or a pretrial or anything like that. This is a show cause hearing. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty interesting. Shiz did a great job tracking all that down. She also has the letter where his
Hey, Misty, how are you?
lawyer that was appointed for his arraignment has, I was only appointed temporarily for the arraignment. I've got nothing to do with this clown. So right now he does not have a lawyer, and it should be pretty interesting what happens in the courtroom. So let's rewind a bit. Let's rewind.
100%, man.
Josh Stonevet gets a hold of me. He says, "Hey, would you look at this guy and tell me what you think and see what you can get for records?" So I start looking at some of Kaiser's military claims, and I'm like, yeah, none of this makes any sense. None of it makes any sense at all. Some of the daring do that he did, or did in his mind, because he is a legend in his own mind. The staff sergeant, 3 tours, 2 Purple Hearts, RPG to the grill, broken leg for 3 weeks, all of which has been completely debunked. But I want to go back to the very initial call out. And he was on panel with Frauditer Troll, and he was talking about his opiate addictions, and because he had 7 to 9 surgeries or whatever from his military service, and which was all bullshit as well. He's just a perk hillbilly, perk pill hillbilly. But I'm going to play some of Frauditor Troll's panel video. And I'm bringing this out to the forefront because this pretty much plays into what his character is. He lies about everything. And, over the last year and a few months, he doesn't have a daughter. There were no...
Sorry for the pause. Hey, I just want to let everybody know the QR code up there is to it's to the Hill Pirate Studios. Buy me a coffee. So if anybody's still giving to that, that's what that's for. But I'm going to take it down so I'm not getting in the way of Top's brand. What's up, Joey?
Dogs. I guess there were like 2 huskies that he supposedly had. The 2 houses on the same street. His marriage to Kimmy, who nobody's believing that. There's no marriage certificates in any of the states he's been in. So, he just, if his lips are moving, he is lying. And all the people that support him, I don't know what you're thinking. He's a convicted felon. He's got 5 pending felonies, which we'll see what goes on with that. Like I said, the wheels of justice turn slowly, but they do turn. And we'll see what happens on February 5th, 2025. Shiz was able to find out that he has a cause hearing, show cause hearing. The attorney he had was a temporary attorney for his arraignment back then, and has said that he has concluded any and all business with this individual. He is not the attorney of record for what's going on. My guess is the guy probably saw what the show cause was for and said, yeah, I'm not getting involved in this bullshit. So we'll see what happens. But Shiz has been, all over this. Shiz was a supporter of his, as was Dickbag Patrol, as was a lot of you. And when it came out that he was just a complete and total liar, kudos to you guys for just hammer in his ass, and he deserves every pound of that hammer. Let's go ahead and play this. This is when Dickbag first comes on. I'm in the chat and I'm kind of watching this, but let's play this.
Thank you. Dickbag Patrol, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Not much.
So, yeah, so I'm not a drama person. I don't get involved in any of this shit generally, but, you know, my ears perked up when I started hearing some of the things about the stolen valor, being that, you know, I'm a vet, come from a military family. So the thing that's been bothering me, Wrangler, is why not just produce your DD-214? I mean, when I got out, it was made pretty clear to me that don't.
Exactly. Dickbag is 100% spot on. And Dickbag was a big supporter of him. He made the intro that he still uses today, even though he's been asked not to use it. He's just a shitbag, period. But let's listen.
Lose this. It was the equivalent of your birth certificate. So it's pretty easy to do. And then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you said it was in storage somewhere?
Yes, it's in storage in Alabama. I haven't lost it. I tried to print it out, and I tried to print out on my damn award letter from the VA, and I couldn't do it. So I went to the VA, and they told me I had to go to the federal building. I went to the federal building. I got the award letter. I put it up several times since then.
That's bullshit too. You don't go to the federal building to get a VA letter. You go to the VA to get a VA letter. You don't go to the federal building. That's bullshit.
100%.
Haven't had the opportunity to get my damn go to Bama and get it. I had business that me and Kimmy had things that we had to take care of in North.
Oh, I think he had an open warrant during this time frame. That's why he wouldn't go back to Alabama.
Carolina this week, and we didn't even really have a honeymoon, so we were taking time for us. I didn't know any
honeymoon. Where and when did they get married? There's no marriage certificate, marriage license anywhere that anybody can find, and he won't produce that either. So
any of this was happening.
Yeah.
And
so about the gunshot, was it combat or not? See, when you don't answer right away.
I didn't. You dropped out for a second. Get back. I didn't hear your question.
So the gunshot wound. Let's just clear the air. Was it combat related or not?
Yes.
It was.
So you were in combat? Is that what you're saying?
So he says it's in storage, but there's every piece of military record I have, including awards, certificates, letters, everything. It's something you keep with you. Everybody who's been in knows that that's something you always know where it is. Yeah, clean. And I have DD-215s because when they did my DD-214, they screwed it all up.
And it's better for you just to
Yeah, it's
air it
better
out
just to
when
say the
you're-
truth.
Long pauses.
Yeah, if you say yes or whatever, and then tomorrow somebody finds it's not true, it's
already know it.
Yeah. So you just said yes. I got my injury in combat. So you're saying you got your injury in
All right.
combat?
I guess
Yes
the
or
best.
no?
All right, look.
Oh, those fucking chipmunks in his brain they're on the wheel and they are screaming. They're running so fast, trying to come up with some kind of story.
I was
All right.
deployed. It wasn't combat related. It wasn't active It wasn't active engagement with an enemy of this country. But yes, I was deployed when it happened.
Deployed when it happened. Still clinging. Still clinging.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I sincerely hope you're being honest about that, man, because people will dig that shit up. And
They
it's
can be my guest.
Yeah, well, they are. I'm telling you.
I
People
mean,
are
it's already
actively
it's already done. This guy has your DD-214, and I told you I will not speak on it, but I can play his video. He just released it 2 hours ago, and apparently they have your whole history, and there's no mention of combat. I mean, we're gonna watch it in just a moment.
No mention of getting
Well, y'all go right ahead. I mean, like I
The VA may be able to produce it for you, Mrs. Metcalf, then.
told you, I've got somewhere I've got to be.
See where
And I told you I was going to be able to come up here for about 45 minutes. I've been up here
sitting
90
in the chat.
almost.
That's fine.
Right. Well, these are extraordinarily important questions, man. If anybody questioned my service, I'd, well, you know, if it was serious, if it's some jack off, I don't know, who cares? But, you know, you're
I understand that,
a
DB.
public figure, so if anybody came, you know, started making this much of a ruckus online on the channel or whatever,
My
about
YouTube
me
channel.
not, you know, first thing I do is just get my DD-214, block out my social, and post it. And it's. I mean, where's your birth certificate right now? Do you have that with you?
No, I don't
Like,
have
where
my
you-
birth certificate.
I mean,
don't-
like your
I'm-
important documents. Why? I just that has always struck me as odd. I would never, you know, leaving it.
Because when I left
very,
Alabama,
very
He's
dangerous.
he's really
because
getting
when I
ready to-
left Alabama to
he's really getting ready to tuck his tail and run right now. So the I gotta go is coming up.
get clean, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was
Okay,
going through
that's fair.
withdrawal. I
That's
was
right. He was committing felonies.
going through.
All right, I'll accept that.
I wasn't thinking about all that, and I definitely, like I said,
I got it. That's a fair answer.
All right, I'll slow down the chat a bit. It's pretty hectic. But yeah, you're right, Wrangler. I honestly, I wasn't trying to ambush you, but the shit with Blackheart Knight really pissed me off, and I didn't think you were. I didn't think you were gonna stay on this long. I think after being confronted about the Blackheart Knight, very sketchy, extremely sketchy fundraiser, you were gonna leave.
and I can see how it would look like
He's
that.
gonna leave right
Absolutely.
now.
And did I screw up with Blackheart? Yes, I did. And I probably shouldn't have forgotten. No, there is no problem. I shouldn't have forgotten. All right, I shouldn't have let it lapse.
Yeah.
You know,
How do you forget that you're fundraising for somebody and then not give them the money? Yeah, like the Duggars on 19 Kids and Counting. None of them have birth certificates or social security numbers.
fine. And I shouldn't.
What I mentioned earlier that you finally
Is yes, letting it lapse, slip my mind, whatever you want to call it.
Biff's on
I
panel.
screwed up. But as soon as he brought it to my attention, I addressed it and rectified it.
Yeah. All right.
From someone who has taken a life, regardless of war and peace. If you're a good person, you'll never forgive yourself. Since you were not in combat, who did you kill?
Nice try. Tell shiz.
You know, I forgot that Biff brought that up. Yeah. Man, they lit a fire under his ass that he couldn't come up with the lies quick enough to counter anything that's going on here.
Nope.
There's no thanks.
There's no
Tell
fact.
shiz she can ask her own damn questions.
He he's absolutely right, because you claim that you weren't in combat. One, you got shot, but two, that you've taken life. Where were you that you took a life if you weren't in combat? Extremely valid question. But then he says, ask Shiz is a very big tell that Shiz is absolutely right, and we're all absolutely right about whose life that was.
Dude,
Question that's out there.
it's a good try, Biff, but there's no way he was going to incriminate himself with that. Like, it's a good try, dude. There's no statute of limitation on murder, so there's no way he was going to say anything about that.
Oh, and I did send you a screenshot with Valcax's PayPal from March. That does show that he did not have any funds.
Okay, so you're saying he didn't receive any money from the
Just more
from the
lying
fundraiser. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I said if any.
Good
so
try, Biff.
I just wanted to make sure that was out there.
I forgot all.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put him in the same boat, but yeah, I'm not saying he would have kept the money, and now, anyways, now with these screenshots, I'll put a pinned comment in tomorrow's video just to clarify it. But yeah, so I think Dickbag, or Biff, did you have any more questions for him?
No, sir.
Who's
Thank you
that?
for giving me the opportunity to come up.
All right.
Which kid, Fighter? The one he claims he took out in combat, like a 12-year-old kid or something like that?
Thank you. Cindy Lucian, your super chat is here.
Look at PV1 Kaiser Michael William at Fraud at Wrangler. FOIA request and data don't lie. Ooh, what's going to happen now?
Here, I have 29 backed up. It's just like, I don't want to be a channel that just like, I want to focus on the content, and I will read the super chats. But Cindy Lucian, I don't see yours. But anyways, I'm gonna start reading them. And yeah, Cindy Lucian, I don't see yours.
When I got that picture of Joey Surreal off Google, I had no idea.
So let me read these super chats. That's it. Turn a blind eye. Are we really that shitty? Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, you're saying they want blood. Yeah, you pissed off a lot of people, man. A lot of your subscribers and my subscribers are pissed off.
Yep.
So, I mean, sure. If you guys want to unsubscribe, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say I appreciate you at least letting me come up. I know you were going to do the live stream with me, and like I said, you asked me to come up. I did. And Big Bag Patrol will have the greatest respect for you, sir.
Yeah,
I really, man, I can't.
I'm sure Dickbag just couldn't live without that, but what a fucking sack of shit.
Stress how much I'd like you to clear the air about what this guy says, like publicly now. Like, I mean,
wait a minute,
because I don't want to,
look the same.
like I said.
Like, how about this? I'll hold up reading the super chats, and we play 5 minutes of the video. How about that?
Josh, I've got somewhere to be. I'm already late.
All right. I won't hold you up. All right.
Trying to run from those super chats big time.
I don't live
No
stream
problem.
because I got a Griffin.
Okay, thank you anyway.
Well,
All right.
that's
What a
disappointing.
sack.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So, thank you, Wrangler, for stopping by.
Hey, Wyatt, how are you, bud?
Yeah. Oh, Wrangler, you're still there?
No, he's popping smoke.
Wrangler, you're still there? All right. Well, if you hear me, I just want to say that out of our community, like you're the biggest fraud that came out of it, man. And I wanted to say that before he left, but massive fraud.
So I was hoping he was going to start my video and Wrangler was going to stay and I was going to pop up on the panel. so I could personally confront him. That didn't happen. The video got started after he left. I came up on panel and talked a little bit about how this all came about. We'll let it play through a little bit.
Like, not who you pretended to be at all. Not one bit. All right. Okay, so let me read these about 28 super chats. And now I do want to say thank you so much, everybody who supported
not going
humor.
super chats.
We're going to, let me
I decided to take the deep dive, and I've been doing stolen valor investigations for quite a while. I've got a folder just full of Freedom of Information Act requests, and this one piqued my interest, and I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, get Don Shipley involved. Well, Don deals with Navy SEALs. Occasionally he will dip into special forces or like Marine Corps force recon phonies, stuff like that. Or Steve.
Okay, moron. He got the social security number.
Yeah,
for
and
him.
he's in the chats, by the way, right now.
Who?
Oh, that's right.
This guy?
MSG.
They were trying to say that I illegally got his information in order to dox him. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And you can have somebody else's social security number. It's what you do with it that's illegal. If you do something illegal with it, then it's a charge. But if you have someone's personal information, you must safeguard it. And that's one thing I do with all of my Freedom of Information Act requests. If I get a document back from someplace and they've missed something when they redacted it, I redact it. But I don't put that information out there. You must safeguard it. And when I'm done with that information, I delete it or it is redacted. I use these black paint markers that completely obliterate anything on paper. You just scrub it on there and there's no way you're going to recover anything that was there. So the copies of the stuff that I print out on a laser jet, once I redact it, it's redacted. You're not going to be able to see it. But I digress.
Retired, yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, MSG retired. Let me send you a link if you want to come up and say some words. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to MSG retired. I'm going to give you a subscribe right now. Yeah. So just to clarify, because someone is slandering you that you doxed him, he obtained his info to be able to do the FOIA request and figure out the information. He didn't make the sensitive information available public on his channel. You stupid moron. Like,
exactly. Frauditor Troll knows what it's about. You don't. You have to safeguard that data. Yep. And it's just it's hilarious. Oh, Kaiser. And all the lies. And then, oh, well, that was a character I made up for YouTube. Bullshit. You were using your phony military career to prop yourself up and get subscribers and make money on YouTube. It's a violation of the Stolen Valor Act. Very easy to prove. But you're never going to get anybody to take up the flag on that and go for prosecution. It's just not going to happen.
Seriously.
Over at Guardians of the Green Beret, they only really dig into special forces people that are claiming special forces. But I work with Steve every now and then. I'm an asset for him. He's an asset for me. I can do things and get things for him. He can get things for me. I also have contacts with HRC out of Fort Knox. I also have contacts that have access to the ATARS database, which is the Army training system. Any school, any ATAR school that you had been to, you're in that database, period. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of my contacts, they're all retiring because we're all a bunch of old fucks. But, you know, that's all right. That's all right. I've kind of stepped back a little bit anyway. So there's nothing, there are no secret squirrel schools in the military. So if they said all my records are classified and all that stuff, it's bogus. I've talked about this in the past. But Michael caught my attention with some of the things.
I have someone backstage. I don't know if it's him. Okay.
That he said and done and spewed. And,
Agreed, Linda.
So I decided to go ahead and do the deep dive. And I was provided information that I finally got his correct date of birth, his social, that kind of stuff, and it's freely available.
MSG retired. The link is in the
chat. Okay. MSG retired. Let me see. Maybe if his email is public, I might.
So I did the deep dive.
All right, we have the Master Sergeant himself in the house. How's it going?
Good evening. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. 10 by 10. So how are you? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. All right, I just want to make sure I'm not.
Yeah, I mean you're good. We can hear you. It's a little bit muffled, but you're good. Well, yeah, thank you for your service, first of all,
Yes,
Master Sergeant.
absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you're getting dragged into a little bit of drama, and I know you turned off the comments on your video. You're not a drama guy, but unfortunately, that's what's going on tonight. So anything you want to say about this guy, Michael, Product Wrangler? Oh, you're muted.
Technical stuff.
All right, we'll play a video. We'll wait till your audio gets fixed.
Live on the Department of Defense. Yeah, I had to mute it because I think I had a loop going on.
Okay. All right. That means that you have one of your YouTube windows that's open. So close all the windows besides.
He had a medical issue, whatever that may be, and it was bad enough during basic training that they actually, I guess he got a VA compensation on it. And I don't believe he ever went back to the National Guard to give them the records because on his NGB 22, it says SM not available to sign, which is typical when they don't come back. And yep, that's true. He never went back, never brought any of his paperwork back from basic training and gave it to the Guard. They processed them out. And there was a very small amount of money that he was given as a severance pay, as well as he got VA care for whatever the injury was. And then that's all done. So again, saying that he's a disabled veteran is a lie. He never rose to the level of veteran status. He did get some minor VA care after the fact, but let's keep going. Mailed it to him. So, I'm still missing one piece of the puzzle, and that's going to be the records from the National Personnel Records Center in St. Louis. And once I get that, then I'll have the very final piece, which would be that DD-214 from his active duty time in 2005, where he received some type of an injury. So what happened with that is I never got anything back that I didn't already have from NPRC. And what I really should do is go ahead and I'm using a different channel now. I'm going through HRC, Human Resource Command at Fort Knox. I've got 2 requests out now. It's been a few weeks. I'm still waiting to get those back. If they come back with actual records in a decent time frame, I may resubmit Kaiser for that, just to get that final DD-214 he got from Fort Leonard Wood when he was processed out. got a disability, and because of that disability, the National Guard but again, there's nothing on it. The NGB 22 is a pretty much like a carbon copy of it, only in the National Guard format. So whatever was on his DD 214 that they looked at online is what went on there. So because all the records are digitized now, very easy for them to get a handle on. Discharged him, and most likely that injury happened before he reached 180 days of active duty service, and that's why his discharge was uncharacterized. If you don't meet that 180 days of active service, or they start processing you prior to that 180 days, then you usually end up with an uncharacterized discharge.
Very interesting. So I do have a question. So when you do receive the final piece of the puzzle, are we going to know the nature of the injury, how it happened, and exactly everything it entails?
No, that would be a violation of the HIPAA rules.
Okay.
In regards to medical stuff, and I exposed the guy. I don't know. It's been quite a while ago. In North Carolina, boy, I heard him suck him.
Once I saw Marianne Shipley chiming in, I think that's John Shipley's wife, right? Marianne Shipley. I got that wrong.
Actually, it's Diane Shipley and Mary Shantag. Her husband.
Right. My mistake.
Her husband started the POW network. Your First Amendment separated. Now his separation date, this period,
AVOP,
was July 22nd, 1998. He had a total period of service, or a net active service this period, 1 month and 5 days. So he had total prior inactive service. So he spent 14 days before he left to go to basic training. And there's nothing else listed there. No overseas, no foreign service, no sea service. Yeah. And he had a data rank of June 4th, 1998. So that's when he signed his contract, I believe, and became a private PD1. So decorations, medals, badges, citations, and campaign ribbons awarded or authorized. He has none. Nothing follows. His military education, course title, number of weeks and months and year completed, he has none, and nothing follows. Now in the remarks, member is not completed.
That was it. 2 houses down was actually once a little notable.
Sorry about that.
Not sure what's going on there. When the discharge action was initiated prior to 180 days of service. This type of discharge does not attempt to characterize service as good or bad. So it doesn't mean he get out bad conduct or anything like that. It's just uncharacterized. He wasn't in the military long enough for them to even have an opinion on his service. And it was for a medical drop.
Well, I got an opinion. He's a lying sack of shit. That's what the opinion is.
Agreed.
All right. I'm only going to let this go another minute or two, and then I'm going to wrap.
So it was very nice of the National Guard to provide that to me. I'm assuming
So the best part, so the Alabama National Guard sends me these records, and I actually, the clerk actually called me on the phone, and we were discussing it, and she says, well, why are you looking for this? Not that they have to ask, and they usually never do. I said, well, he's claiming this, and this. And she says, I don't even know how they allowed him to enlist into the National Guard, because of whatever happened his first time with the reserves when he tried to go to basic training and failed out and didn't make it. So, and he's never going to tell you the truth. Ever. Never. If you put a lie detector on him, the fucking needle's going to go slinging off the side and stick in the wall. Because there's no way. If his lips are moving, he's lying. And the only reason I'm doing this is, if anybody that's involved with anything to do with him, this just shows what he is. He's a lying sack of shit. It just goes to show his personality and what they can expect. So, oh, I'm sure he'll be a highly decorated veteran while he's in prison. He submitted that in order to get into the National Guard. So that's part of the packet I'm putting together just to see where this goes. Because he has been collecting for veterans organizations, or that's what I get from his YouTube channel, from his About or whatever. And people have been donating to him to give to veterans organizations. Guys, cut out the middleman. That keeps people from scamming you. If you're going to give to DAV or any other veteran organization, give directly to them. You don't need a middleman to do it. All right.
So Wrangler is saying that I'm trying to get paid off his back. Wrangler, today we've made what? I think $300. Thank you very much to the support. That's not gonna make or break me, dude. Like, honestly, I made this for the community because I owed them an answer. You owed them an answer. Like,
Wait,
$300.
is Wrangler in the chat?
Yeah, it's
I
Wrangler.
thought he had somewhere to be.
No, well, he has somewhere to be. It's just it says right here. Oh no, it's on his live stream. My bad. That's what he has to do.
I see.
Yeah, it's his live stream. So he has a lot of people waiting. 85. Anyways, if you hear me, Wrangler, you know that I could have made a live stream about another frauditor and made as much money, if not more. Dude, you needed to be called out, dude. Anyways, so that's where he had to be. He had to make his live stream. So good for you, buddy.
Kelly, do you really think that they're going to question anything? I think it's just going to drive their conspiracy riddled brains to new heights. They're going to say that we engineered this and made it happen somehow.
And that's where I'm going to leave it. It just, 35 minutes. I just wanted to go back over this. I was going to do a live, and I just really didn't want to sit here and do a live. I'm going to do this as a premiere. I'll be in the chat. So if you have any comments, I'll be able to answer them. But anyway, I'm not going to let this go away. I'm going to keep this going as much as possible. He's never came out and said, I lied about being a staff sergeant. I lied about 3 deployments. I lied about 2 Purple Hearts. I lied about a RPG to the grill. Right. There was something about Ranger School. He's just all over the place, but he's never came out and confessed to all of it. Not ever. And will he? Most likely not. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the premiere and the content, guys. I promise you I'll get a little more active with the channel and try and get some more content going.
You better, Tom.
Like I said, I was pretty burned out on the whole Stolen Valor thing because you put in so much work and so much time, and you get it to the people that can actually do something with it, and they just fail to prosecute. And it just really gets you bummed out after a while. But yeah, I'll see what we could do for some new folks coming up, and I'll try and get a little more content out. Hey, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, thumbs up, and everybody have yourself a great day.
So I met this chick at the bar. Yeah? Oh, she was hot. She was just like, hey, man, you just want to awesome. And I was like, yeah. Too easy. Hey, CIB.
All right. Nerd, you got nerd right. And you know, I don't know if I can outdo Top. I just do my nerd stuff. So but I will get out more content if work will leave me alone. They're a bunch of wieners. So, but they give me money, so there's that. I will. I did. I retired in E7. I just was saying I don't think I could outdo Top. So, yeah. Top's the man to me. So he's done some cool stuff. My coolest stuff was after I retired and went full on Intel community. What sucked for me, Joey, was when I got promoted to Special Lips, they pinned Corporal on me like the day after and gave me a squad. I was not happy. But I mean it looked good, and that's why I freaking Special Lips. The Special Lips cruise. I had a guy, he took the early retirement because he never wanted to be promoted to E5 and refused to go to the board. And he did 13 years. He did maxed out at E4. So he had to take the early retirement. Yeah. National Guard's way different though, Joey. That's the frustrating part, is you just have to wait for that 62-year-old E4 to retire, right? I was a little over 6 years to E7. He told Todd he retired as an E8 when they were having their little talk, when Todd said he was a retired sergeant. And instead of saying he retired as a sergeant first class, he said I retired in E8 or master sergeant. Good grief, Joey. Hey, VOP. Yeah, but Linda, Todd still sucks them all up. But he wants that JJ juice. So, all right, folks. I will see you all at 7:45 over at the Hill Pirate place. I think Hefe's been working on a lot of merchandise, so I have my menorah already sitting in my window. So, and I've ordered some stuff, so hopefully it gets here by the 24th. Mrs. Metcalf, so for us to get promoted to E7, we just have to have the time in service, time and grade, and go before a board of E9s. So there was never any testing, but they look at your awards, decorations, leadership time, stuff like that. So that's what the girls want me to do, Mrs. Metcalf. They want me to go full on Hanukkah house, but I've never been into anything more than a menorah. So I did have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree for the girls. So all right, y'all. I will see y'all at 7:45. Be good.